Well, greetings and salutations, everybody. Welcome back to the channel for our continuing coverage of Cinemacon 2023. We did the Sony presentation, we did the Warner Brothers presentation, we did the disappointing Disney presentation. I'm still being very mean to them, but
it's okay.
But you know what? Do you still feel that way after watching the Universal presentation?
It was really good.
I reel back what I said. I reel it back a little bit.
We just came back from the Universal presentation, which bent over and crapped all over the Disney presentation. So much better than Disney.
Such a wordsmith.
Oh, I am. So Rob is still
Invisible Rob
chugging along, trying to get back from Caesar's Palace to here. So he says he's in the building, so he'll come walking in here anytime. But we had to get moving and get started on a Universal coverage. Guys, this Universal. Right, I think we went into it before it started saying, I don't know if we're expecting too much out of this Universal presentation.
Yeah, we're like fast sex. I was like, I don't care.
Last year we left pretty disappointed.
Yes, Universal's presentation last year was not all that great.
It wasn't at all.
Whereas Disney's last year
Was fantastic.
swapped.
This year, what do? They say, okay, we're starting the presentation. Rob just walked in the
Hey.
room. Rob, like,
Take a minute.
he's hunched over, breathing deeply. He's got 2 cigarettes in his mouth.
Big Bear
He's
chasing.
trying to get over here now.
Big Bear chasing.
So what did Universal? So Universal looks at this crappy presentation that Disney did, and they're like, "Oh, we're going to show you how it's done." How can we start our presentation? I don't know. Let's start the presentation by bringing Christopher Nolan onto the stage.
Yeah.
Come on, how great was that?
Dude, it was great.
Nolan comes out and he just, with all the dignity that he carries now, he's just talking about the sanctity of the movie theater experience, but all this kind of stuff. Then he starts.
There's nobody better in Hollywood to talk about that.
No.
Yeah.
And then he starts talking about Oppenheimer. And he starts talking about how he makes a case, I don't agree with him, but he makes a case that Oppenheimer is the most important person that's ever lived. That what Oppenheimer did kind of defined what the world we live in now is. And then they showed us stuff from Oppenheimer that I have never seen before.
Oh my God.
It gave so much context to the film. He also then kind of
It was
revealed.
long too.
Yeah, it was good 8-9 minutes.
Yeah.
Stunning.
And then he revealed that the first full trailer for it will come out with Guardians of the Galaxy. So Rob, I thought about you immediately when he was doing that. So what did you think about what we saw for Oppenheimer?
Dude, I'm speechless. The thing about him is just the way he shoots things, because everything is practical and he's always, even when the camera's panning over the ground.
It looks gorgeous, yeah.
There's something about it. I mean, the characters, the interplay, the locations. I mean, they're out in the desert. But man, I was drawn in. And here's a movie not based on a franchise, not an IP. It's a biopic about the guy who made the atomic bomb.
Loosely based on one particular novel that explores it.
Yes.
But it was
American Prometheus.
But it was stunning, absolutely stunning. #1 must-see of the year.
It looks like a Best Picture contender.
I got to say, I've never been so starstruck from afar than I have when Christopher Nolan came out.
Oh, it's crazy.
It's like a Michael Jackson now to me. Yeah. Seeing Michael Jackson.
So well dressed, so well coiffed.
Yeah.
Oh, so beautifully done. So he comes out,
Has he
gives
been
the
knighted yet?
Oppenheimer.
Michael Jackson wasn't the best person to
I mean, I was like, that's impressive.
take that back.
Come on,
Let's say LeBron playing in person or something like that.
Okay, now look, we're
Yeah.
on a bit of a timeline tonight because the Universal presentation went a half hour overtime, so that means our time is a little bit tight. So we're gonna keep moving here. But Oppenheimer looked absolutely incredible. And then what did they do next? What happened after that?
It was another big one, actually.
Was it animated? Did they go right into their animated?
Maybe they went.
I think we had Jason Blumhouse come out fairly quickly.
Oh, okay, yeah, okay. Listen, Blumhouse came out with
Strays was next.
Well, okay,
Oh,
we'll
yeah.
get Strays. So he came out with what's the name of the guy who directed the Halloween movie? Something Green.
Yeah, David Gordon Green.
David Gordon Green.
Yes, he did the last 3
The Halloween films, right? The first one was great. Last 2 not so much. But they came out, talk about horror and the success of Megan, and then they introduced something that I totally forgot was coming, and I give 0 craps about. The Exorcist Believer?
Believer.
Yeah, which is going to be a trilogy.
Okay, which is going to be a trilogy. Now, as soon as they said that, I knew Rob would hate it. Like no matter what. Now you understand, Rob and I have not spoken. We've not spoken. We weren't sitting together in the presentation, unfortunately, so we haven't spoken. And I didn't care about it. But I would be lying to you if I didn't tell you It looked way better. What's the horror movie they tried to pitch on us yesterday that Warner Brothers was pitching?
Oh, The Nun.
The Nun.
Too.
Yeah, remember, it's like, that did. This presentation they made for The Exorcist literally made me way more interested in this Exorcist. I thought it looked super creepy.
I did too, but here's the thing. I know you like the Halloween trilogy he did.
No. I like the first one.
I was not a fan of those, and The Exorcist is my favorite horror film of all time. And I will watch. I'm interested. The fact that they brought back
Ellen Burstyn.
Ellen Burstyn coming back.
Yeah.
I mean, she's like 90.
Yeah.
But I love the fact that she's come back, so I'm in. Count me in.
Yeah.
By the way, I'm going to just take a quick second here and thank some of our channel members who have been gifting out channel memberships while you were waiting for us to start the stream. So big shout out to Joshua McGregor, who gifted one membership, to Mark24 Gaming, who gifted out a membership. Holy smokes, James Wheeler, who gifted 10 memberships out, and Mark24 Gaming, who gifted out another 5 memberships. Big shout out to you guys, our channel members who did that. Thank you so much for that. Anne, you were sitting with me. What did you think about that? Anne's not a huge horror person, but what do you think about that Exorcist stuff?
I love horror movies if they're good. And
Right.
I will say that trailer was really good.
Yeah.
That got me. Everything about it, the sound, how the girls looked, it was freaking
So
great.
my measuring stick for how good a horror movie looks is how many times did Chris Carr say nope?
Oh my God,
Great.
so many.
So many. So that means
so many.
it
So
looks
you guys
really
are
good.
gonna love it. I was raised Catholic. I think The Exorcist is the scariest film of all
Yeah, it
time.
is.
Yeah.
I
agree.
still have
Catholic here,
nightmares
too.
about the staircase scene.
Oh, yeah.
Logan thinks that movie's hilarious, by the way.
It's
He has a very
hilarious.
different vibe on that one. He's like, The Exorcist is hilarious. This looks terrifying, you guys. And it's not just one girl possessed, it's 2 this time. So double the demonic possession.
And they look freaky as hell.
Yeah.
Okay, so then as I said, guys, we're gonna have to move kind of quickly. Then also to crap all over Disney's presentation some more, Will Ferrell comes out on stage.
Oh
Yeah.
my God.
Yeah.
Best movie of the year.
With,
know.
with the little dog that he does the voice for in the movie.
Sophia. Or
So
Sophie.
Sophie, I think it was.
Okay.
But she plays a guide dog.
Yeah.
Yes, she plays a guy
That's
dog.
range, baby.
Reggie.
Range.
And he starts talking about strays, and he was hilarious with this dog and the stuff. And then they showed us basically the trailer. So Will Ferrell's on stage for a good 8 minutes. And then they basically show us the trailer, but a double length trailer. So there was like a whole bunch of stuff in there that we had not seen before.
Oh.
The funniest shit was the postman.
Oh God.
The stuff about the postman.
Yeah.
And the bunny.
The devil in the sky.
And the bunny. The bunny.
Oh, the bunny was
That
so
was
funny.
the whole thing about what they showed.
Oh,
that
that
was
was
the scene they
horrible.
wanted to show. And it's like, if you have a dog, you know how unknowingly they get when they're playing with toys.
Oh, yeah.
And it plays into that. It's a great scene.
So
I am telling you, we all have been really excited for Strays.
Yeah.
If you haven't seen the Red Bed trailer, you should go look it up. And I hope they put what they showed us, even though it's kind of long, I hope they put what they showed us up online for you guys to see, because we were laughing hysterically. We cannot wait to watch Strays. It looked fantastic, and him being there, Will Ferrell setting it up was just
Yeah, that was
really
And you know
good.
that's a movie that from the very beginning when we first saw that trailer kind of came out of nowhere.
Yeah.
No, like you guys, did you see the Strays trailer? I'm like, oh no, I saw something came out, but I didn't watch it. And Ray's like, you got to watch it.
Yeah.
Like, all right.
Oh, good.
So, and I have been laughing ever since, and the stuff they showed us today was so good.
I want to quickly add one thing. This is the presentation where I actually want them to upload the pre-trailer. Everyone who spoke, I want to watch again. Like Will Ferrell, his little shtick.
Yeah, they never air that stuff.
Yeah, I want that to be uploaded just as much as I want what we saw to be uploaded. Too.
Yeah. So
Fantastic.
that was straight. So again, like the first 3 things they came out of the gate with, I thought, again, I'm just comparing because it was all on the same day, like beat the shit out of Disney's presentation.
Yeah.
So then they started talking animation.
Kicked that off with Trolls.
And they kicked it off with Trolls, and they brought out Justin Timberlake and Anna Kendrick, who Anna Kendrick is starting to maybe become my favorite person in the world.
She's amazing.
She was hilarious.
She was
so funny.
so funny. And Justin Timberlake,
He's so funny.
he was also really, really funny. And like this, he started talking about, like, he was just being real, talking to people about Vegas and about, what you're doing in Vegas. And then he started to set this line, you know what they say about Vegas? What happens in Vegas? And then Anna Kendrick is, oh yeah, I know what to say about Vegas. Dear God, I promise I will
I'll
never
never do it again. If you just save me from this, dear God, Jesus Christ, I'll never do it again.
That was
That's a personal memory.
She
It
was
was so good.
so funny, and then they showed a bunch of stuff from Trolls, a lot of unfinished stuff from Trolls, and I still don't give a shit about Trolls. I didn't think the trailer was all that good, and the footage they showed was all that funny. To be
I'm
honest
going
with
to
you.
watch Trolls in a very specific way.
Yeah, me too.
Sync music in
Yes.
the Trolls trailer.
Okay,
I'm
okay,
there.
yeah.
There's a full generation going to see that movie.
Anne has a newspaper article cut out of her and her life bestie Jaylyn as young girls. What was it about with you guys at the
We
NSYNC
were
concert?
competing for 2 front row tickets for Kiss FM to an NSYNC concert, and we learned the choreography, and we put posters all over her car, and we actually won.
And it was all in the newspaper.
And it was on the front
page of the newspaper.
newspaper.
How old were you?
Oh, like 15, 16.
Yeah. So like the first requested hall pass Anne ever gave me was Justin Timberlake. And so he came out on stage.
And then I left.
They were funny. And then Anne was done. She's like, I'm done. I'm finished. And then they showed the trailer. I mean, look, you worked on the Trolls property. So, I mean, but did you like the Trolls trailer?
It was okay, but like I said, I think there's certain things drawing me to it, and I like that they still are trying to continue the franchise because I think Anna and Justin together are really fired. Like with
I would
Buffy
watch a
and with
live
Branch.
action
Yeah.
rom-com with those two.
So just
I would
those
totally
two
watch it.
is really good.
All right, then another animated thing they showed was Migration. And I gotta say, the footage they showed us today was better than the stuff that was released online before.
Yeah, but still,
I'm not, I'd be lying if I said I was excited to see Migration, but it did pique my curiosity. It did raise my interest. What we saw today did raise my interest. What do you think about
I mean,
Migration?
I think it was better than what we've seen before. I also not with him though on like ducks, nature's cartoon character. Ducks are horrible creatures. Look up
They're
real life
cute
DuckTales.
when they're babies.
They're terrible and they have corkscrew penises, right? They're horrible, horrible animals. All right?
for some people that works.
Chris out here dick shaming people. That's uncalled for.
I talk about how I'll never kink shame, but here I am dick shaming. So uncalled for. But it looks better than what we've been presented with, and especially getting that backstory of, it's this family with a father who really, really wants to just keep everyone literally in the nest, and that'll be a nice relatable thing.
And we learned why who you should migrate to, right?
Who you should migrate to?
Yeah, Migration Mobile.
Oh. Yeah, it's a little early for the sponsorship.
It's early. Okay.
It's a little early for our sponsorship.
That's a new company.
But again, a
I'll be back.
good segue. A good segue nonetheless.
I'll be back. A little early there.
So Migration looked okay. And then they did a third animated film. Blah 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 Kraken.
Ruby Gillian, Teenage Kraken.
Teenage
Is that what it's called?
Yeah, looked shitty.
I wasn't.
Like anybody in here like
It went a bridge too far for me.
It felt a little like turning red.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
it looked like it was
Also,
desperately trying to be
it's a
turning
very
red.
specific audience they're
Yeah.
going to.
I don't understand how she's a secret sea creature,
Yeah.
given her teenager design. Where I was like,
Well, she's
don't have a
blue
nose
with gills,
Yeah.
and nobody knows what she is.
yeah.
Again, I'm sure they'll explain in the movie. Hey, listen, and we're not saying the movie won't be great. Maybe the movie will be fantastic. We're just talking about
and below.
the footage they showed. Did you? I don't know. What do you think about it?
I thought that I didn't want to unleash it.
A phrase that can be used so many ways. So that was that one. Now there was a fourth animated. Well, no, there were 5 animated projects. No, the fourth one. Sorry, there's just 4. The fourth animated project is just a hair under a year away, and they had no footage to show us. It is Kung Fu Panda 4. And what was the highlight of the animated presentation? The head of Universal just comes out and says, so to tell you all about Kung Fu Panda 4, here's Poe himself, Jack Black.
Oh my God.
So Jack Black comes out on stage. And he goes, all right,
Perfect.
we don't have a trailer. So did you guys, I know you can watch Parks and Rec when Andy didn't have a DVD player to show people Rambo, so he described Rambo to them. That's what Jack Black just did. He goes, okay, we don't have a trailer. So I, thespian Jack Black, am going to go through the entire story. And he starts narrating the story.
Ninja kick you
It was
like
fantastic. It was fantastic.
It was so
With a
good.
suit that looked like a panda.
Which
Yes.
is his thing lately, because he had that killer custom suit for Bowser for the Super
Yep.
Mario premiere. He had a Poe suit today.
When they said
love
they didn't
Jack
have a
Black.
trailer, I wanted to yell "Peaches" out loud. Just
Somebody
like
did
that.
it.
Somebody did.
Oh.
Yeah. But one of the really cool things he talks about is he's going to be fighting the big bad in this movie is a character called the Chameleon, who's also kind of a sorceress. But one of the main powers of the sorceress is she has the ability to bring back old villains from the Kung Fu Panda series, which to me is really kind of neat and exciting. I really like the Kung Fu Panda series.
They're
And
great.
Jack Black on stage doing that like 7-minute thing about
He was great.
it was so
amazing.
good. And he's singing and he's doing the moves and he's kick. It was gold.
It was great.
Absolutely gold. So I believe that's it for the animated
Yes.
slate.
Yeah.
Then I know we might be going a little bit out of order. Just quickly go through the Focus Features set. Focus Features has some really interesting, very cool looking films coming out. One of them is Asteroid City. With
That's Wes Anderson.
Wes Anderson with Jason Schwartzman, Scarlett Johansson, Tom Hanks,
Liev
Stephen
Schreiber,
Carell, Liev Schreiber. Great cast. I got to admit, I haven't been, if it wasn't for the name Wes Anderson on it, I don't know that I've been super intrigued by it.
So excited about it.
But
I'm
this
so
was,
excited about it.
what they showed us today has gotten me more interested in it. Like, Ray, you were already saying you were super
Yeah,
excited.
yeah, yeah. Because remember, we passed by the second floor on our first day, and I saw this poster, and it's Asteroid City, and we see the little crater, and I was like, "Oh, I want to see that." And John and Ann were like, "No, that's not what you think it is," because I
Yeah, it's
saw
not a
those-
space movie per
it's not a
se.
space movie.
Or
And then-
is it?
Or
Are
is
there
it?
aliens?
This is. I'm shocked that this is like my number one movie after this whole presentation.
No, I do want to see it.
Yeah.
I
By the
really
way,
like it.
just a quick shout out to Flash Blue in the live chat who just super badged in a super chat tip. Thank you so much for that, Flash Blue. Appreciate it, man. So that was Asteroid City. It's piqued my interest. It's got me kind of looking forward to it. Then I don't think a lot of people are going to care about this next one, but I really do because the original was really, really special to me. My Big Fat Greek Wedding.
Oh, I thought you were talking about the other one.
My Big Fat
Number 3.
My Big Fat Greek Wedding is coming back for a third one. The first one is one of the most heartwarming, wonderful movies. And the guy who played the dad, I forget the actor's name now. I can't. Who died recently? But I actually got to have lunch with him this one day. He and I both went to like this film class together, and he invited me to come have a burger with him during a lunch break. And I got to sit down and talk to him about. So anyway, the second one was not so good. They tried to do a TV series. Did you know this?
I did.
And it was one of the
bad.
worst,
Really
most
bad.
awful things
Yeah.
ever put on television.
It was really bad.
But I still have such a place in my heart for it. And so there's a third Big Fat Greek Wedding where they all go back to Greece and made my heart smile.
It looked more sumptuous than the other two films. The first
Yeah.
one was a real indie darling, but this looks like it actually had more money behind it, production value.
And our friend Connie sang.
Connie!
Connie!
Hey, Con, we're about to go to the buffet that last year Connie came with us. to
Yes.
the buffet last year. How you doing, Connie? So I'm really excited to see that. I don't think it's going to do super great at the box office, but I'm looking forward to it. All right. Then there was another Focus Feature one called The Holdovers.
Yes.
It's directed by the guy who did Sideways,
Alexander Payne.
who, well, of course, starred Paul Giamatti, who I think got an Academy Award nomination for that
Yep.
movie. And it stars Paul Giamatti.
Yes.
Where it's how do you describe it? It's like it's a pinch of Oh Captain, My Captain.
Yeah, it's got some Dead Poets
you
Society
yeah.
vibes, and it's got a very 1970s aesthetic, and that's where it seems to be set too.
Yep.
And everything in the trailer was like watching an old 70s
Yes.
film trailer, a coming of age film. It's so well done. It's about students at a prep school who stay over the holidays
'Cause they don't
That's
have
who are
family to
carrying-
go back to.
Yeah, and those are the holdovers. And Paul Giamatti is this kind of curmudgeon-y teacher there who's got a bit of a chip on his shoulder, and he's the one who has to watch everyone over those 2
He
weeks.
gets stuck, and there's a particular student that he does not get along with, and the two of them are forced to be together over the holidays. And the first 30 seconds, I thought, this isn't really working. By the end of it,
Yeah.
by the end of the presentation, I was like, I can't wait to watch this movie. I know you love Payne.
I love Alexander
well.
Payne.
What do you think about what we saw?
I thought it looked great. I mean, give me a movie set in a school, whether it's School Ties, whether it's Goodwill Hunting, whether it's Dead Poets Society. I'll watch anything.
Harry Potter.
Well, yeah.
Private school
the
girls in
paper
Manhattan.
chaser.
Private school.
There is
girls
a
in
movie called
Manhattan.
Private School, though. There is a real private school movie. No, but I
Mark
love
Harmon, if I'm
I love
mistaken.
movies with I love movies with mentor characters.
Yeah.
You know, professor. I love that stuff, and it looks great. And Alexander Payne. I mean, he's made some of my favorite. I mean, so I love Sideways.
And
Love
plus,
it.
who doesn't
Sideways.
love
I
movies?
love. Didn't he made Election? Didn't he? He didn't make Election.
No, that was
Someone else.
I'm freezing
I
out
was
for
just
now.
saying, who doesn't love movies where like the old person actually learns something from a young person, or vice versa? I like those movies.
I do
Yeah, well,
too.
they got a little bit to learn from each other.
Yeah, just a little quick shout out to the lady who runs that Focus Features.
The chairman?
Last year's presentation, I thought it was the worst part of the thing.
It
But
was-
this year, her speech was so nice about her son going to Super Mario.
Oh, that
Yeah.
I
was
thought the whole
sweet.
thing was beautiful. I thought her whole presentation. She has a bunch of winners that she
Yeah.
has coming up.
Also, Rob, you're right. Alexander Payne did direct Election. I should never
Oh.
doubt you.
Yeah.
I should never doubt you.
Really? I really thought it was. Now I'm freezing on who I thought it was, but I didn't think it was then. So,
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that.
so 1 point Hufflepuff.
There you go.
Okay, now before we continue, because there was a lot more stuff, including Fast 10, Wicked, Fall Guy, hell of a whole bunch more. Now we're going to talk about that stuff in just a second, but before we do, we're going to take a moment and thank the sponsor of our coverage of Cinemacon 2023, my mobile service provider, our friends at Mint Mobile. We want to thank a sponsor of this video, Mint Mobile. From the gas pump to the grocery store, your utility bills and favorite streaming services, inflation is everywhere. Seriously, make it stop. Thankfully, there's one company out there that's giving you a much needed break. It's Mint Mobile. As the first company to sell premium wireless service online only, Mint Mobile lets you order from home and save a ton with phone plans starting at just $15 a month. You guys know that ever since I switched to Mint Mobile, I've been saving almost 70% a month over my old phone plan. For people looking for extra savings this year, Mint Mobile offers premium wireless for just $15 a month. By going online only and eliminating the traditional cost of retail, Mint Mobile passes the significant savings on to you. All of their plans come with unlimited talk and text plus high-speed data delivered on the nation's largest 5G network. Use your own phone with any Mint Mobile plan and keep your same phone number along with all your existing contacts. Switch to Mint Mobile and get premium wireless service starting at just $15 a month. To get your new wireless plan for just $15 a month and get the plan shipped to your door for free, go to mintmobile.com/Campea. That's mintmobile.com/Campea. Cut your wireless bill to $15 a month at mintmobile.com/Campea. And thank you to our friends at Mint Mobile for sponsoring the John Campea Show's coverage of Cinemacon 2023. All right, one of the things that we should mention here about Universal's presentation was something that was not there that we were anticipating, and then Kris Carr very deductively came up with why they didn't. We were expecting to see something about Five Nights at Freddy's. As a matter of fact, there's a part of the presentation, we'll tell you what it was in a second. There was a part of the presentation where the lights all went out, and you heard a speaker over the loud system saying, ladies and gentlemen, please be patient as we are preparing a special presentation. And I thought for sure we were going to get, like the way the nuns came up the aisles, I thought we were going to get these creepy animatronic monsters
Heck yeah.
coming
Right.
up. But it wasn't that. They did not do anything for Five Nights at Freddy's. And it left us, Kris and I were talking, like, why didn't they do it? And then Kris had a eureka moment.
Yeah, it's day and date. It's day and date, and that's not something you want to do to theater owners. You don't want to talk to everybody in exhibition and say, oh yeah, it's not really a movie we seem to believe in, and we're dumping it on streaming
Right.
the same day it goes to your theaters.
Yeah.
That's not going to give them
That
any
won't go over
confidence.
well with the theater
No.
owners. So I think Kris is absolutely right about that. So unfortunately, we didn't see anything. By the way, whereas some other studios have been really touting the fact that they stuck theatrical, like Sony especially, like, yeah, we screw streaming, we've stuck theatrical, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Universal on a couple of occasions in their presentation struck more of an apologetic tone.
Which I like.
Justin Timberlake in particular, because I still remember we talked about this on the show when it happened, when Universal was the first studio badly to break ranks and say, oh, this movie, Trolls 2 that we're going to put in theaters, yeah, we're pulling it, we're going to put it on streaming.
And they broke the 45-day.
And they broke the 45-day thing, all that kind of stuff. So Justin Timberlake is out there with Anna Kendrick trying to sell Trolls 3, and Justin Timberlake's like, so yeah, we kind of took a little bit of a loss on, we went a bit of the streaming route with part 2, but we learned. And like it was really more of an apologetic
Yeah.
tone.
Which is nice.
Yeah, and because the theater owners, they all remember.
Yeah.
They knew. And so that was kind of interesting. Now I'm going to go a little bit out of order because I told you about the lights went down. We thought it was going to be a Five Nights at Freddy's thing. It was something that was better. They bring out this company called, what is it, the 89 or
87 Productions.
87 Productions, which is a Hollywood stunt team that has worked with David Leitch, the director of Deadpool 2, one of the John Wick guys who did Atomic Blonde. This is the stunt team that he worked
did
with.
Bullet Train.
Oh, and he did. Oh, and I loved Bullet Train.
I did too.
So they just bring out these crash pads, and they did about a 3-minute huge stunt demonstration, and these people are real life freaking ninjas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like they were doing stuff I didn't know was even humanly possible. And they did some falls, and then they did some weapons combat, and they did these acrobatics, and I'm just like, what? Like Anne was sitting beside me. I'm like, the whole time just going, no.
Yeah.
It was so
amazing.
fun.
But the best stunt had to be when I missed that T-shirt that they shot at me.
Yeah.
Oh, you
it
did
was so
I missed that.
Oh.
I missed something. I wanted
Well,
one.
but we were sitting there thinking, okay, this is really cool, and it was awesome. I'm like, why are they? What does this have to do? I totally forgot that they were doing a Fall Guy movie with Ryan Gosling and Emily Blunt
Precious guy.
and the Emmy Award winner from Ted Lasso,
Hannah Waddington.
Yeah.
Anna Waddington, on
Winston-
Bullet Train,
Aaron Taylor
Aaron Taylor
Johnson.
Johnson,
Winston
Winston Duke from Black Panther, M'Baku, King of Wakanda.
Stephanie Sue.
Stephanie Sue,
Yeah.
Academy Award nominee. Stephanie Sue from
Everything.
Everything Everywhere All at Once. Great cast, and it is, for those of you who remember, there was a Lee Majors TV series, The Fall Guy, about a guy who's a professional stuntman and Ray's favorite kind of people solves crimes. And they're bringing that back to life. And Ryan Gosling's playing. I forget the name of the Fall Guy
Lee
again.
Majors.
No, that was the actor.
No. Cole
Lee Majors.
Something. Anyway, Lee Majors. He plays the title role.
Cole Severs. Is it Cole?
Cole
Yeah,
Severs.
Severs, that's what it was.
Severs.
So I totally forgot that movie was even a thing. I didn't even know they had started shooting. So they gave us this big presentation of it, and it looks pretty fun.
It looks
looks
great. It's
really
got
fun.
that Bullet Train feel to it. That
Yes,
Yeah.
it does.
pulpy, slightly not realistic, heightened reality. I can't wait.
And because David Leitch, who's been directing all these great movies, he, of course, for many years of his career, was a stuntman. And so he kind of talked about how this whole movie is kind of like a love letter to the stunt.
Yeah.
And they brought out Brian Gosling and Emily Blunt.
Yeah, Ryan Gosling and Emily Blunt came out.
Well, it was
Or
so
great.
nice
He
that
was there.
Ryan introduced the stunt men too. It was
Yeah.
like, here's who does this specific stunt in this film. Here's who does this stuff for me. It was really, really great because
Yeah,
they
it was
really are
good.
the unsung heroes, and they don't get a lot of recognition.
But
Even
they've
from our
got
community.
they've got great chemistry. Emily Blunt and Gosling, they're hilarious.
Well, like Gosling is like standing in the corner. You know, is okay. Are the stunt people done now? Like it's safe to go out? Because I'm an actor. We just like to stand in the corner and take credit.
yeah.
It's like, so that.
It's been so funny the whole weekend.
Yeah. He's been great.
You need to stand up.
Oh, when he came out for Barbie,
Yeah.
Yeah.
he slayed that
dry
Barbie
humor is
thing.
actually getting to me now.
What's that?
The dry humor.
Oh
That's
yeah,
like a really dry. There's no like.
super dry
Yeah,
humor.
there's no delivery, but it's just funny. to
So
me.
good.
Yeah.
He's so funny. So Fall Guy looked really, really good. Then there were the two major ones, and I thought the headline of the night would be Fast X, which they're calling it Fast X because apparently the next one will not be called Fast 11. It's going to be Fast X Part 2, apparently. And I can't say for certain, but you feel free to chime in if you disagree. A very drunk or high Michelle Rodriguez,
Yeah.
she was on something.
It's Vegas.
Not that it was bad. Not that, and I'm not judging, and I'm not saying it was bad. I'm just saying clearly a little tipsy Michelle Rodriguez.
But it was kind of cool when they brought Ludacris. They brought out.
No, they
No,
didn't.
they brought Tyrese.
What were you high?
No. That's why I didn't see Luda. I was thinking fast. I was thinking Too Fast and
Diggs.
Furious.
Jordana.
They brought in Tay.
Tyrese
Tay
Gibson. Tay Diggs.
The second guy.
Tyrese.
Yes.
Oh my God.
So anyway,
You know, Ludacris.
But what I was going to say is,
Bill Cosby.
no, they brought out the four from the first three.
Yeah,
They
yeah.
brought
Yep.
Sun Kang,
Yep.
and they each introduced. I mean, Paul Walker wasn't here, but they each introduced the movie they were introducing.
Each of the nine,
Yeah,
the
that
That was
nine
really
movies.
sweet.
Yeah,
it was.
Great.
It was really cool to see all those movies I haven't seen.
Yeah.
A little awkward. It was a little awkward, not well
But I
rehearsed.
thought it was. It wasn't well rehearsed, but I thought it was nice that they did that.
I'm not gonna lie. Anne mentioned it, but it's true. I was kind of waiting to see if Tyrese was going to call me out from the stage.
Oh, there's
I don't know if
still
you remember.
time. There's
Me
still
and,
time
me and
in this
Tyrese
week.
had a little bit
Check
of
your
drama,
DMs.
but that's okay. Check my DMs.
I keep wanting to say Ludacris, but it was Tyrese.
You know what was
Tyrese,
most
yes.
disappointing about that presentation is when Tokyo Drift came out. I expected Rob to scream at me, and I look over and he's dead silent.
Oh.
I look like the
No,
idiot.
no.
We were next to each other, and he got so excited and just starts hitting my
I was
arm.
like, yes. I wasn't. I wasn't.
I
Gonna,
need you to be vocal, Rob.
But what was interesting was that it was the four of them, but no Vin Diesel.
Yeah.
So after they went through the whole presentation, then they said, and now we want to bring out the shepherd of our whole thing, Vin Diesel. And Vin Diesel comes out, and you guys know I am a Vin Diesel fan.
I'm a bigger fan.
By the way, he looked great.
He looked great.
Fast 10 jacket.
I am a big unapologetic Vin Diesel fan. I will say this though, I have never heard somebody on a stage like that speak slower than Vin Diesel did. Like
what he was saying.
But it was good.
But it was good.
He
No,
picked
it
up
was
the
good.
pace towards the end.
Yes, he did. He started
And
picking
he
up the
was
pace at the end.
walking across the stage. He was,
Yeah. Yeah.
he was just bathing in the glory of the moment.
Yeah.
Man, I was listening every word he said, so
I
it
was
didn't
gonna
matter. It's
say.
so fast.
No, and he said some really good stuff, but
He went off script. He's like, tell
very
it, Rob.
slow.
I don't need to tell it.
Very
He
thankful.
spoke very slow.
Yeah.
He made me a Fast and Furious believer. Like, I wanted to go see these movies after this because he took me to church where he was like,
Yeah.
this is
There
the
it
one place where you can feel accepted
I
no matter
know,
what's
he made
going
me
on in your
feel-
It's
life.
all about family.
And like the whole time I was like, yeah, man, you're
We're
right.
family.
And he said family a lot. He said
Yeah.
family
Said
a
it a
lot.
If
lot.
he took
You
a
know
shot
what?
every
But
time, we would
wasn't
be dead.
fun. It was actually real.
Now there was a fact that he dropped though that I thought was really interesting. So I like these little factoids. He said, you know, we've been lucky to work with a number of directors on our franchise, and they said this, and every one of those directors, the films they worked on in our franchise is their highest grossing movie.
Right.
And I thought that is actually a really cool fact that I hadn't really thought of.
Yeah, that's reeling in some director choices for the last one.
Yeah.
He's reeling in some people. He's
Yeah.
like, you want to make some money?
Well, no, Louis Leterrier is doing well.
Oh, okay.
He's already signed to do the last one. And then they showed, now, ladies and gentlemen, Fast X, and they brought up a big presentation to show on screen. And listen, I said it before, I'll say it again. I thought Fast 9 was a crime against humanity. I've run out of words to describe
It's
just
the
how-
only Fast and Furious movie I've only ever seen once.
Yeah, it's garbage. It's garbage. But when the first trailer for Fast 10 came out, I'm like, all is forgiven because this looks awesome. And then they showed us more stuff today, including a little bit more some John Cena.
Yeah.
Well, a little more Jason Momoa. It just, that has so heightened my excitement.
Me too.
For this
What?
film. I'm
Yeah.
so excited for
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
What did you think about the fast stuff we saw, baby?
Granted, I haven't seen all of them, but I did see 9 once.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Oh, but 10, yeah. 10, or sorry,
You got to see
10.
Fast 5. That's the Citizen Kane of the.
Fast 5,
I-
Fast 6, and
yeah.
Fast 7
Yeah.
are, like, if anybody were to ask me if I only watched 3 Fast and Furious movies, I would 5, 6, 7. I mean, that's when it was at its absolute height.
Hobbs and Shaw 3 times.
Although
I
love
really
the
like
drift.
Hobbs and Shaw.
I love the drift.
Yeah, I know you love yourself a
Love the
drift.
I love the drift.
So that was the Fast 10. I mean,
can I say something about one thing about the Fast 10 thing?
What's that?
I didn't want to watch it, but after Vin Diesel's speech, now I'll watch whatever he
Oh,
releases
oh,
for the
yeah.
rest of
Yeah.
my life.
oh yeah, I mean,
It was great.
it's hard not to get enthusiastic because he has a contagious enthusiasm for it.
In the trailer they released, did they show that shot where Vin Diesel punches Jason Momoa and he just laughs at
No, that wasn't in the trailer.
I'm so hyped for this
Yeah.
because Vin Diesel has been invincible in this. Not
Oh, yeah.
even when
Yeah.
he fought The Rock did someone taunt him
I have to
after
say,
he punched him.
what is the Universal President's name?
That
Gabby? No.
Gabby. All right.
Hang on.
But yeah,
I'm Googling it.
Donna
Langley.
John Langley, not Gabby.
I have a
Langley.
mad crush on her now.
She's great.
Gorgeous.
She is
Thanks for-
absolutely gorgeous.
She's gorgeous and funny.
Also,
and
there were a
brilliant.
lot of female execs that presented today. I just want to call that out.
Yeah.
And yes, she was wonderful.
Oh my
Yeah,
God.
a lot of female executives over
But
at
she's
Universal. And so,
Sound Harry.
listen, I'll tell you what, this movie's going to be huge, and the audience was very, very enthusiastic about it. They were very excited about it, and I thought, well, that's it. That's the end of the presentation, because that was when the presentation was supposed to end. It was supposed to end at 6:15, and then that's when the lights went out, and they brought out the stuntmen, and we still did Fall Guys. I said, okay, well, that's it. But then the chairman of Universal came back out again, and she's like, okay, we got one more thing for you. And I'm sitting there going through my head, what do they got? What do they got? What's it going to be? But it's got to be something big because it's the last thing. She goes, right now in London, we are shooting Wicked. And they're in the midst of shooting it right now. They're only halfway through shooting. I'm going to be honest with you. 2 squirts of urine is more than I've been interested in Wicked. I have not been interested in Wicked. I mean, look, it's interesting. It was a big Broadway success.
But it's a really cool story.
They had Cynthia Erivo doing it. You had Ariana Grande, and I think that's really cool casting. Jeff Goldblum as the Wizard of Oz.
Michelle
Yeoh. I mean, yeah, that all looks good, but I'm not really interested in the story. So they're like, listen, it's only halfway through shooting, but we are going to show you. We put together a bunch of footage from the stuff. You were going to be the first. She goes, the executives of Universal haven't seen this. You are going to be the first people to see this thing about Wicked. All right. As somebody who couldn't give a crap about this movie an hour and 10 minutes ago, I am dying to watch this movie now.
Oh, I agree.
What did you think about what we saw?
I thought it looked fantastic. And there was a lot of previs and unfinished stuff, and even then, it still looked amazing.
Well, especially there's all those practicals too. They planted millions of tulips.
9 million. Like John M. Chu, who, of course, directed Rich Asians, Crazy Rich Asians,
yeah.
and some Justin Bieber stuff. He was talking about how I mean, obviously there's got to be a lot of CGI and something like this, but he says we went every time we could go practical, we planted 9 million tulips to represent Oz. So instead of a CGI, which would have been easy for them to do, they planted 9 million freaking tulips to create these beautiful landscapes. They're going to make Oz feel very real. Jeff Goldblum as the wizard looks fantastic. And I'll tell you what, they kept talking about how the chemistry, when we cast Cynthia and Ariana, I keep forgetting, I want to call the Green Witch Ebola, but that's not her name. Alphaba. It's not Ebola. Alphaba.
Just not say that all.
I mean,
wow.
I knew it was, but come on, it
She
sounds
was
like
ostracized.
and Galinda, the White Witch, they said, John M. Chu goes, as soon as we put them together, we could feel the chemistry. Yeah. And in just this 6-7 minutes of stuff they show us, I'm like, my heart is already breaking knowing the destiny of their friendship.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And I was feeling it. And Michelle Yeoh is doing wizardess. It had a little bit of a Hogwarts feel. It did. But still, by the end of this little thing, I can't remember the last time that one sizzle presentation so completely changed my outlook on a movie than Wicked did. And all of a sudden, I got it. I get why everybody. Anyway, you were watching this thing. What did you think about the presentation for Wicked?
As it the title screen comes up, Rob was just like, okay. My whole body. In something that will shock no one, I'm a big musical theater fan.
Oh yeah.
I love
No.
musical theater. It's my favorite. And I've gotten to see this show multiple times. So seeing it actualized in this way is so, so cool. And I know so much of it was unfinished that we saw, but it was just so magical and lived in. I'm so excited about it. I went into this being like Oppenheimer's going to be my favorite. Still probably the best thing we saw. But man, I'm really, really hyped about Wicked.
Yeah, I have to say too, because I've seen I didn't see the stage version. I saw something. A recorded version of the stage play, so I've seen the stage play, but a recorded version of it, and I've really liked it. I love the story because it's based on a book, right?
It is based on a book. Yeah.
Can I say something?
Yeah.
I missed this whole thing. because I gave more than 2 squirts of urine.
Yeah, he had to.
I
he
had to go to
pee,
the restroom and
so
I
he
did
could-
the whole thing.
Now, granted, it was like 2.5 hours long, this presentation, and they gave us free Fanta and free bottles of water and free sodas, and so
It was brutal.
And,
But before we go,
Okay.
Anne,
Yes.
you were sitting with me. I know you have been kind of looking forward to Wicked. What
I
did
just-
you think about what
I
we
didn't
saw?
know Kris was a musical fan either, so now we have something in common. Yeah, I'm super looking forward to it. I was crying like the whole time.
She was.
As soon as you hear the Gravity song, you're like, I was like tears, and the fact that Ariana looks like Linda,
Ariana
and
Grande?
yeah,
She looks
She's in this?
Yeah, she's the lead.
Hey, bro.
One of the 2 leads.
I was waiting for, I don't know if you were looking for it, and it's too early to tell, but in the stage play they have this big mechanical like dragon in front
Yeah.
or whatever. That's really memorable because that's like a set piece that everybody remembers when they see it. So I'm wondering if they're gonna kind of do
Yeah, how it's
anything
gonna be in
about
there.
that. Yeah,
They had to pay homage to that.
yeah.
Hey, you had something else you
Oh,
wanted?
no, I wanted to say something after you guys were done with Wicked because it's something important that I think we should point out because it was well done.
What was that?
The beginning where all the directors talk.
Oh, I'm so glad
that
you
might have
brought
been one
that
of my
up.
favorite things.
That was
awesome.
Because they had Jordan Peele.
Yeah, let me give
Yeah.
context to this because I'm so glad you brought that up. So the way they opened the whole thing, like what this was before Christopher Nolan came walking on stage. The room goes dark, the screen comes up, and because not everybody can be there, so they record these special messages just for the people at Cinemacon. And it's Steven Spielberg on set in Burbank at Universal Studios, and he starts talking about the magic of the movies and being in a movie theater, right? And then it goes over to Jordan Peele.
And I screamed
And
that
Jordan Peele starts talking about, and then it goes to like Lord and
Coogler.
Miller and Ryan Coogler and the Daniels, who are now the reigning Best Director Award winners at the Academy Awards. And then it goes over to Ethan
Cohen.
Cohen, and then it goes over to Payne, and then it goes
director
over to all these
Elizabeth Banks, Lord and Miller.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
that's right.
all these incredible filmmakers doing this big thing, and I'm like, we're sitting there watching it again. I know I'm harping on it, but I'm watching this little video introduction. I'm like, this is already better than the Disney presentation.
Oh my God.
It's already better.
It made more than Black Adam, too.
It made more than Black Adam. But I was like, it was so great. And then that video finishes, and then they're like, ladies and gentlemen, Christopher Nolan, and Christopher Nolan come along, and then Will Ferrell on stage, then Ryan Gosling, and then Jack Black, and then like, it was such a great presentation.
Yeah.
And this is why I was upset with Disney's
No, I
presentation.
completely understood now.
Because the Universal and even if you didn't like the Warner Brothers as much as this one, the Warner Brothers and the Universal presentations was a clear message to the movie theaters that we love you, you are important, we can't do this without you,
Right.
and you are worth us putting all this energy and effort into it. Thank you. Whereas Disney showed up and went, whatever, fuck off, we're Disney. You take what we'll give you and like it. And that rubbed me the wrong way.
Well, the Universal presentation, it started out with that great video, but then Christopher Nolan, if you didn't get the point they were making, then he comes out himself and puts a great exclamation point on it that theaters matter, you all matter, and Vin Diesel ended, with the same message.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, and that was the Universal apology tour.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry,
They made everyone
We're sorry.
I'm sorry for Dave.
We're sorry.
in that arena. They made everyone feel
I'll just tell you what, the Universal present, and again, I loved what Warner Brothers did as well. But the Universal presentation tonight was kind of this is what CinemaCon is.
Yeah.
Right? It's a love letter to the movie theaters. It's a celebration of what is about to come out in the next year. It is about getting everybody excited about this stuff. It's about bringing the main key players out on stage to be a physical face and representing all this stuff. And again, full marks Sony. Sony did a great job opening night too. Warner Brothers did a great job. But again, Universal, I just really felt like they nailed the spirit of it. And we still have Paramount to go in the morning.
Yay.
And listen, from what I hear, Paramount is going to go all out. Paramount is apparently go, and they always do. Paramount, even when they don't have the best stuff to show off, they always go all out.
Love their president.
Yeah.
He's
Is
great.
so fun.
But I'm gonna go out and say Universal probably already won the week. There was so much
Hey, man.
appreciation in their speeches. Like I don't see anything Paramount doing.
And you know what they talked
winning.
about? They talked about the chairman said right at the beginning of the presentation, look, if we're going to be successful, we have to have a wide variety of films.
Yes.
We need to have a very full, robust release slate. So what'd she say? 23 films.
23 films.
23 films, everything from The Holdovers and Asteroid City to Fast 10 and Wicked.
And The Exorcist.
All over the place.
And The Exorcist, like a very wide-ranging thing that I thought was just
Universal.
like really, really special. And again, just that emphasis that if we're going to do this, we have to have a really big, wide breadth of films that we're going to offer and be very different, because that's what movie audiences are looking for. That movie audiences are a sophisticated bunch, and they just did a terrific job. I really enjoyed it tonight, like a lot. I had a really, really good time.
It was great. It was a great presentation.
Anything else we should be mentioning before
I think that's everything.
That's the most important
Woo.
things. Everything
We
that
did it.
deserved attention.
Yeah, I mean,
Got it.
there was a lot of stuff here for the Universal stuff tonight, guys. It
Really
was,
well done.
We have an exciting. And I want to mention one of the things that it might have been Blumhouse. Yeah, it might have been Jason Blum who was the one who kind of brought this up, but maybe one of the other executives did too. He said, "Listen, it is important that we have a rich mixture of franchises and originals." And Jason Blum points up to the screen, or one of the Universal execs points up the screen and goes, "Here are 4 franchises that we just started this year: Black Phone, Megan, The Bad Guys, and
Silent Night, baby.
Silent Night, right?"
Yeah.
And like, here were 4 originals. If you want to have franchises,
Violent Night.
you can Violent
Silent Night, thank you.
If you want to have franchises,
I got way too Catholic.
you got to start with great originals.
Yeah.
And they talked about the importance of having a great mix of franchises, which the audiences love, and fresh new originals that you can build franchises out of. And I thought that was really astute
Agreed.
Right.
of them to say. So any other kind of things that jump out to anybody?
Turtle power tomorrow, baby.
Yeah. Looking forward to the power.
Baby.
So yeah, guys, that'll do it for our coverage. And again, so we're cutting this one a little bit short because the presentation went a half hour long, and we have to get to a dinner reservation actually. But guys, thank you so much for joining us again. Tomorrow, Paramount. We're really looking forward to the Paramount one. We're gonna get some Transformers. We're gonna get some Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I've been told they've got a lot on the slate for tomorrow, so that's gonna be really, really exciting. So for everybody here, from Robert and Kris and Ray and Ann and myself, thanks guys for joining us. We'll see you tomorrow morning. My name's John Campea. One last thing. One last thing. Sorry. I forgot I wanted to mention something. Thank you to everybody for this, because this afternoon I got a bunch of emails from people that let me know that our out of the theater quick reaction review of The Flash hit the top 10 on the YouTube trending page.
Wow.
And
Wow.
I think that's only like the 3rd time that's ever happened.
Wow.
So thank you to everybody who got that video trending. So thank you so much. All right, now that will do it for us, guys. Thanks so much. We'll see you tomorrow for the Paramount presentation. We'll talk to you next time. Is that it? Yeah. Okay.
Mint Mobile.
Bye-bye. Mint Mobile.